And we are live. Welcome, Highfalutin Ski Bum Podcast, episode number 220. It is your pals, Mario and Brian. Mario, what's up?
We're back in effect. We're back in effect.
There you go. That's how we do it.
We're doing good. Speaking of, last night was a doozy. I think I had food poisoning.
Oh, boy.
So,
oh, boy.
Melanie and I come home. We make a nice salad with chicken on it. Have that salad. I got to say, like 20 minutes later, I thought I had like COVID. I was sweating profusely, and I had to run to the bathroom. It was horrible.
That unwashed salad, right?
You know, I think I might not. I think I might have rushed it. I was hungry. Came back from the gym. I was like, I've rushed through it. I was like, fucking, what do they put on the goddamn like lettuce? Really?
You don't want to know.
So
gnarly lettuce there.
I threw all that out today and went to Sprouts to get some real stuff, organic stuff.
Well, that's a very wonderful way to start the old podcast.
I know. It's just sharing. Sharing is caring.
People are very excited about that.
So you got to watch out when you're on a ski trip or you're at your favorite mountain that you don't poison yourself with some bad salad too. So
dude, that's the worst thing when you have like your boots on. You gotta like run to the lodge in your ski boots.
God, that's the worst.
And then you gotta like try to get your pants down, and then the boots are up so high that you get like,
and you have a backpack. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Well, good thing like most places have hooks now. You can put them in there and just kind of. But
why doesn't Spider have like some sort of fancy diaper, like a ski diaper you can wear,
or a hatch, just a zipper hatch that you could just get out, just bam,
just get out, son. That's it's amazing they don't have that because they have that ninja suit. You'd think they'd have some sort of like
the ninja suit,
some sort of hatch.
Just another zipper, right? Enclosed, well crafted.
They have the taint zipper. Why can't they just like have that whole thing open up?
Exactly. Instead of airing it out, like I really want to air everything out. Like it's just saying. Speaking of which, I have to get a new jacket this year.
Oh, yeah?
I was told by some people, they were like, I was looking at multiple years of pictures. They're like, it looks like the same year because you have the same jacket. I'm like, yeah, it really does. That green jacket all the time.
So you gotta get a new jacket every year so you can better chronologize. Is that a word? Chronologize?
Or just keep the same jacket and be like, I'll just be known as that guy with the green jacket.
That's my move. I always get the dark orange jacket because that's just my look. It's kind of like the podcast logo.
But you
color.
Got the blue pants now, so you switched it up with the pants.
Well, that's the thing. I got the orange jacket and the blue pants, which is the same colors as the podcast logo, which is not a coincidence, people.
Or maybe you should topsy-turvy it. Do the top on the bottom on the top.
How about in one continent, you do it that way, and then the other continent, the other way.
Or just smurf it up. All blue one time, and orange it up. All safety orange, all blue.
Safety orange. I'm
either working on the road or I'm a fucking smurf.
I like it. That's why I like the orange and the blue, because it's like a Smurf crashed into a road repair team.
Cone.
A road cone, yeah.
It's just like smushed right up on there.
It just works.
Oof.
Well, thank you.
Feeling good this week, though. Like
feeling good.
Football's starting. We got skiing starting on the horizon. A lot of news coming out. It's good.
Snow be a falling. So a lot of positive things, a lot of happy stories this week, a lot of good vibes for this podcast.
I like that shirt you have with the little helicopter on it.
Oh, thank you.
Pretty nice.
A Warren Miller shirt.
I would love to be heli skiing right now.
Well, if you're into, for sure, right? Now, if you're into t-shirts and you're into us, we like you a lot. You might want to check out skibumpodcast.com/shop because
that's a great t-shirt too.
This is a great goddamn t-shirt.
And you have multiple colors, don't you?
We have 3 colors now.
Boom.
And you know what? They're not black, white, gray like some boring ass people do. No.
What do you have?
Got navy blue. I don't know what the color is called, like clay or rust. It's like a darkish burnt orange and some sort of charcoal color. So we got those. They will be hopefully online this weekend, but no promises. They'll be up there very soon, though. skibumpodcast.com/shop. Our website, of course, skibumpodcast.com. Socials, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Skibum Podcast. Our favorite social app, Untapped. We are at Skibum Podcast and Skibum Podcast Brian. YouTube, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, whatever.
We're just
everywhere. iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, we're all there. So please go there, subscribe, rate us. We'd really appreciate it. Yeah. If you want to send us an email, skibumpodcast@gmail.com. A lot of ski stuff going on. It's starting to happen. The sun is setting earlier. It's starting to get a little bit colder. Ski season is around the corner. So thank you for listening. We do appreciate it. Mario, let's kick it off like we always do. Après today.
Après today. So, all right. So for my après, I'm sticking with another favorite local that I've had before. This is Tampa Bay Brewing Company's showing for their, where is it? Pumpkin season. Gourd's Gone Wild. So
that's pretty funny.
It's a pumpkin ale. It's very tasty, not too sweet, not very syrupy, but it's really good. I gotta say, this is one of my favorites. I saw it in the store. So I was telling Brian I had my first pumpkin beer last week, and I was like, well, everybody, I'm jumping the gun early because everybody else is jumping the gun early. They got like Halloween shit out everywhere. So I figured, why not? I was out somewhere and they had...
Hey, everyone's going in there, putting swastikas on their shirts and raising the right arm. I'll go do it too. Yeah, why not, right?
Why not?
Just join the party, man.
Water's nice. Just come on in.
Yeah.
So I had my first pumpkin beer. I think it was a Shipyard pumpkin because it was on... I was at a hockey rink watching a tournament that went all freaking weekend, all hot day weekend, but I was in the nice, cold hockey rink. So it kind of fit because I'm like, it's like fall weather, almost Christmas. Like
it feels like you're in New England.
Exactly.
Right?
So I had my Shipyard pumpkin. I was like, this is perfect. So then we're out in the store. Like
that one's pretty light. That's like 5 point something, right? Like that's a pretty light ale.
Yeah, the Shipyard's pretty light. This one is, what is this one? This one is 6.0. So this isn't hugely.
Gourd's Gone Wild. What kind of beer? Ale?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 6%. It's not too bad. But it's got a good flavor. It doesn't have like. So the Shipyard is more pumpkin-y. This doesn't have as much pumpkin. It has pumpkin flavor-ish, but it doesn't have that super, cinnamon and nutmeg and all the other crap they put in it. It just tastes like a little pumpkin-y. So it's kind of like a little hint of it. This is the one to like ease you into the pumpkin season, I think.
Okay.
So it's very good. Maybe again, like I keep saying, I'm gonna have to send you some beers up there, Brian, but I never get around to it because I'm lazy. I'm a bum. That's what happens.
Plus, too, you got to get like, what do you got to do? Is like dry ice or something? If you're gonna ship beer,
I'll get them warm and ship them up. But
there you go.
There's a few beers around that I'd have to collect, but it's a lot of work, and then I gotta like ship it.
I hear you.
Or I could just drink it and tell you how it is.
I could just follow you on Untapped and get all of your tasting notes and see the picture. That's just as good, right?
Look at all the work that goes into just drink a fucking beer. How about that? I'm sure you got something similar up there, right?
Probably. I mean, I don't know how wild our gourds are up here, but we got some gourds though. We got some gourds. We got some gourd action.
That guy.
We got some gourd.
All right, what do you got, Bri?
So, I have something fancy this week.
Uh-oh. Fancy.
Something worthy of this podcast. Something worthy of me. How I view myself.
Oh, who's the guy? Leach? Robin Leach?
Robin Leach.
Was
Champagne Wishes and Caviar Dreams.
It's very apropos to that, right?
I didn't realize he died 2 years ago.
I remember it vaguely, but
I had no idea. But
it was like, if it wasn't for him, Cribs would have never happened. Let's put it that way.
Dude, a lot of stuff wouldn't have happened. Instagram wouldn't have happened.
That's right.
Everyone's showing off their wealth and their fanciness, and
Pimp My Ride would never
happen. Pimp My Yurt definitely would not exist.
Pimp My Yurt. That would not still be in the works if it
all
wasn't.
Robin Leach. He started that whole game.
That's right.
He was badass.
I think our Pimp My Yurt, when we do Yurt X, it's coming up again. I was going through my notes. When we do Yurt X, I think we're gonna have to have his little face as like our logo.
With like him with like goggles on?
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
Him and Elon Musk. Like hugging, drinking beers.
I can see that happening.
We do that.
I could see that happening.
What we do is we get the wax Robin Leach and we put him next to the real Elon Musk.
Our pal Elon, who we hang out with all the time. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Elon, if you're listening, we love you, man.
He would definitely bring us our flamethrower. He would hang out with our wax Robin Leach. Maybe the two will go together and he'll torch Robin. We don't know. He's crazy. He wants to go to Mars.
He'll do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
M-A-R-S.
M-A-R-S?
R-S.
R-S. So again, I've got a fancy beer, something royal, something amazing, something delicious. Because last weekend, I finally made my journey, my pilgrimage up to Massachusetts, like I said I would. Like I was trying to do for months and months and months. But this goddamn summer just bent me over and showed me who was boss.
All summer bitching up a storm. I can't get this. I can't. What'd you get?
I finally went. And I went to Treehouse. God damn it. And I waited an hour in line at that crazy ass freaking brewery to get this King Julius. Not regular Julius, not Julius, but King Julius, the one who went to all the Julii and conquered them and destroyed them and let the brewery run red with the blood of his weaker beer constituents. This is the king.
Julius. It's all King Julius that's left.
This is the king. King Julius. This is the beer I'm drinking right now.
All right. Now, what is that compared to the Julius? Is it
more, better, stronger, faster, thicker, veinier, more amazing. It's just more flavor, more haziness, more hoppy goodness. It's just
stankin' hazy.
You know, it isn't like some of these breweries that are dumping lactose in their beer. Like this seems to be like a lactose free, but just
lactose in the beer. Does it come from you just boobing it right in there like the lactify?
There's a few places that do that. Yes,
they haven't said like where the lactose comes from. I always wonder about that.
Lactose tolerant, but this is just hazy, hoppy, smooth, fruity. It's awesome.
Nice.
But yeah, like I said, so you go to Treehouse. So you gotta order it at 9:30 in the morning. You gotta go online. You gotta put in your order, and you go there. And like I had no idea what to expect. I just come from a recreational legally store allegedly in Massachusetts, so I was getting full supplies there. So then we're on their way. Go to I believe it's Charlton is the town that it's in. And you pull in and you're like, okay, cool. I'm just going to go drive up. I've got my number because like you got to write down your number on a piece of paper ahead of time. Like it's a whole thing. We go up there and we just see all these cars and we've just been on the road for like almost 2 hours going to the allegedly recreational weed shop, waiting in line, then going right to Treehouse. And my wife being super pregnant and super annoyed right now is like, are you serious for waiting in this line? Right. She's hungry. She's pissed off at me. She's
Why do we have to wait here, Brian? I could hear her right now.
Like you know exactly how she was feeling and saying and thinking. Exactly. Yeah. So we were in line, and it's just this matrix weave parking lot. You know, like when you go to an amusement park and you have all these like,
oh yeah, the little
switchbacks kind of for your line.
The velvet ropes, or was it just stanchions?
It was like that of cars. So it was like from one parking lot, loop and loop and loop and loop to the next parking lot, loop and loop and loop and loop.
Did you get tested for COVID on that line?
Dude, it was crazy. That's what
they do, right? They do the
it's COVID funny,
and then they swab you.
There was no swabbing going on, but they had like everyone was masked up at the brewery. But we asked the guy, we're like, you know, it was like, this is the right line for us, right? Like we pre-ordered. They're like, yep, this is the line.
Damn.
And he's like, yeah, it's not too bad right now. I'm like, it's not too bad. It was like 45 minutes of driving around in the brewery parking lot to get to the front to actually get our beer.
So isn't that ridiculous? Why don't you just park your car and then they come out to the car that's there? They know your number.
I passed 97 liquor stores on the way to go to this place. You know?
How many corners did you pass where somebody had weed? That you
Seriously. But yeah, so you finally get there, and as you're rolling up, they have guys with walkie-talkies. You have to like hold your number against the window.
You're up against the car,
dude. They're like phoning in your number, and then they like bring you up, and They have another person come in and check, and they have someone, I guess, pack it and get it ready for you, and they have this other person call up, and then they wheel it out to you, and they dump it off in a hand truck, and you got to do it yourself, bring it into the your car, and then you go. And of course, you always have, and there's only like a little like a cul-de-sac where you kind of go in, and then like 6 cars, then you all kind of go out, and the next 6 come in, they bring their beers, and of course, there's always the one asshole who's like got his coolers and he's putting like each beers as he's doing it into the coolers, and like the lady working there is like, dude, you gotta get going, you can't do it here. They actually have a whole parking lot at the bottom dedicated where you can go and pull over and like resituate your beers after you pick them up. Dude,
but the best is they do it, the angriness with the accent.
You like gotta have it.
You gotta take that next time.
It's never like, it's not an accent that's gonna have like a feel goody, happy, soft, encouraging message when you hear the accent.
You're a wicked idiot. What are
it's
you
always
doing?
You're a stupid queer. Like, what the fuck, kid? Like, it's just never.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's always aggressive. It's always angry. It's never like, oh, just be yourself. Be your best you can be. You can be anything you want. No, it's always just angry.
Dude, I guarantee you, TB12 could have pulled in there and they would have been like, dude, pack your cooler. I'll help you pack it for you.
Take your 6 rings and get in the back of the line, you piece of shit.
Get the fuck out of here, you Tampa Bay bastard.
Your 6 rings don't get your shit here. Get in line like everybody else. You fucking fancy queer.
Yeah, that's what would happen. That's for sure.
So here's the kind of level of psychopath I am these days. Before even going, I was looking online, checking out what they have, because you have to buy per case there at Treehouse also. It's not like, I'll get a 4-pack of this, 4-pack of that. You have to buy per case for like 98% of the beers they have.
Wow.
And they sell out quick. So I was on there at 9:30 when it first came up. I'm on a conference call for work, and all I could think about is like what beers I'm going to get. I'm like, I got to make sure I get enough green and some Julius, and I'll make sure I get this one, like they have some one wacky peach IPA. Make sure I got that. And they show how many, like for certain ones, they show how many they have left, and it's like 10 remaining. Then it's like 8 remaining, 5 remaining. I'm like, I got to put this goddamn order in.
Damn.
The night before, I was actually so concerned about the 1.5-hour drive from the brewery to my mother-in-law's house. I was like, yeah, I should stop and buy a $300 Yeti cooler. That seems like a pretty logical idea. Reasonable, right? Of course, like any logical person would go, I just spent $200 on beer. I'm going to go spend $300 more to keep it cold for 90 minutes.
But what's to stop you from buying $200 of beer at the brewery, going to the edge of the parking lot and selling it to the people for double the price that are just coming in?
Pretty sure those people have already pre-ordered their beers and don't want to spend double the price when they can just go up and get it in
just
45 minutes.
When they run out, I'm sure people are desperate.
This was Labor Day weekend, so this was the Friday of Labor Day weekend. So it was, to me, it seemed extra crazy.
Dude, I gotta ride my jet skis. I need my wicked beer.
Dude, but that line, I mean, they are making a goddamn killing there at Treehouse. Wow. Good Lord.
Oh, and they're able to be open. There's a lot of breweries that are still closed. Or just opening back up.
The facility, I mean, the grounds look beautiful. They have this giant new, brew house building and warehouse. And there's all these parking lots there. So they must, when things are back to normal, probably get slammed with all these people coming, because it's a great spot. I mean, you saw tons of RVs. You saw license plates from all over the place. Cool. Campers, like a lot. I mean, there's one group of dudes. It's funny. Right after we left the place, because my wife was pissed off and hungry, we had to find somewhere to eat. And it was the only place we could find, because Charlton, not a whole lot going on there. We found a package store, which is a liquor store. Nice. Most normal people, but they call it a package store.
Well, because you can drink in it, and then they sell you stuff out of it.
Ah, is that how it is?
Yeah, they have them in Jersey.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They have a package store.
What if they just call liquor stores package stores up there, though?
Well, they usually don't want to call it a shitty bar, because there's a dive bar and then there's a shitty bar. Shitty bar sometimes is a shitty bar and a package store.
Well, this one, it was a deli, like a sort of like convenience store and liquor store.
There you go.
So packaged goods. Yeah. Packaged goods. But yeah, we got some sandwiches there, got some ice, Very important, the bags of ice. But we
Nice.
saw like the same dudes in like the big like Sprinter van. They all had like 5 bags of ice. Like they're just like dumping it in there to keep their beers cold. Got the sandwich. It was extremely mediocre. And I used my regular $30 Coleman cooler that I bought when I was in Stowe, Vermont, because we'd gone to Alchemist. And
Nice.
before Lawson's opened their new facility, stopped at a bunch of liquor stores in the Stowe area. What the hell's the name of that town right there? Waterbury. And bought like all these beers. And I was like, oh my God, my regular cooler is too small. I need another cooler. I got to tell you, the shitty Coleman, it did its job. It got
pinch.
It kept it cold for 90 minutes. The next day, I went to another place and bought ice. I put in, I think, 10 pounds of ice with all my Treehouse beers. It kept it cold all afternoon and the whole overnight to next day.
Damn.
So I saved.
Stock up next time. You got to be prepared.
The way I'm looking at it, I saved $300 because I didn't buy that Yeti cooler.
That's true. Or you know what you could do? I have like 2 in my garage. You buy Omaha Steaks, and they send this giant like the foam cooler. You chuck some dry ice in there, you're good to go.
Dude, we got to talk to somebody at Yeti. We need a Yeti guy. When things start blowing up on this podcast, I want to have an RV, like a Sprinter van, decked out with like a Yeti. I don't want to call it a room, but almost like a shower, a containment unit, just like a super Yeti fridge as part of the build.
Containment unit sounds really cool.
I was thinking Ghostbusters. You know, they have the containment unit for the ghosts.
That's right. You just put it in there. That's like the cold stuff.
Yeti containment unit. Because I love stuff cold.
You get an RV, you chuck the dry ice in the top and it all goes down. That's what I'm saying.
Like we'd have like beer and watermelons and maybe a couple of like ribeyes. See? You could think about it. You age your steaks.
I got my Costco watermelon, let it sit on the counter for 2 weeks. I open it up, fucking bad.
2 weeks, dude. What are you doing? That's way too long.
I know. I didn't eat. I slowed down between when I got it and when I cut the other one.
Are you going on Mars? How long are you going to Mars? 2 weeks.
I consumption.
2 weeks. That's unacceptable.
You can't.
Unacceptable.
It's got to be like a few days. That's the window.
5 days. You're tapping out. You got to just. You're done after 5 days.
I should have cut it open. Should have broke it open.
Watermelon died for you.
God damn, I was so mad.
Died for you.
Number 1, I hate wasting food. Number 2, I hate wasting watermelon. Fucking killed me.
And if you had the Yeti watermelon cooling containment system, this wouldn't be a problem.
They need like a watermelon carving thing where you just put it into a machine. It goes and fucking cubes right out.
Dude, that would be nice. That's $1 trillion Shark Tank idea. I'd go on a Shark Tank and be like, guess what? Guess what I have? And you know what? Fuck all of y'all. None of you are invested in my company. I'm taking all this profit. This is my watermelonator.
You know, it'd be great. You make it and you just, to piss people off, all you do is you shave it. You fucking take the outer skin out and you just still leave everything on there. But like, God damn, this thing, all they did was shave my fucking watermelon. Now it's more slippery than ever.
Dude, we can replace severed hands and we still don't have like a device to shave and chop a watermelon up quickly.
Oh, how about watermelon chopping hands? Like blades that you put gloves in and you just go like that and you just watermelon chopping.
Just get like your hedge trimmers and like attach them to a glove.
That would work. I think, you know, the carving knives, the electric knives, those would work well. I don't have one, but seems like it would be.
Well, think about it. You put your hands together and it's like a blade and you can kind of like rub it along the top of the watermelon and it cuts it open.
Perverse.
And then you could take the 2 hands and like just scoop it out in like one like
fucking Edward Scissorhands. It's like bam, bam, bam. There you go.
Like
you got
Edward electric knife hands.
Electric knife hands. Edward Scissorhands 2.0.
Edward hedge trimmer hands.
Yeah.
But there's got to be a way. Like
a nice indoor chainsaw would work well for a watermelon. Just like
a finer chain than a regular wood chainsaw, right?
Exactly. You don't want those big teeth. You want like a nice like blade on it. And just you go right there.
Almost like some sort of dental tool.
I'm writing this down.
You bet this is gold here, people.
I'm gonna do refined chainsaw. A culinary chainsaw.
Culinary chainsaw.
You're gonna cut meat. You might need that too, right?
Culinary chainsaw and civilian grenades are the future, I think.
Civilian grenades.
Just less powerful. Like say you have some like rabid asshole dog comes your way. Just civilian grenade.
Grenade.
Yeah, get some raccoons, a bird nest you don't want to deal with. Civilian grenade right in the tree.
Boom. You got hornets? Boom. Civilian grenade.
Dude, for wasps, hornets, murder hornets, bees.
Oh my God, they're horrible.
Civilian grenade's the way to go.
The best is if you YouTube people like getting rid of like a fucking hornet's nest or wasp nest, it's hilarious because they get stung like crazy. They're horrible.
My mom is allergic to bees, and she is using her vacuum to suck up all these bees. She's like, I've been stung like 4 times. She's like, luckily, she's like, I went to Costco and got Benadryl, so I'm ready to go.
Are they regular honeybees though?
I don't even know.
If they're honeybees, you can call somebody. They'll pick them up. They're endangered. Like they will take them because they make money off of that. They'll take the whole hive and freaking they'll like pay you to take those bees out.
They don't want mom to come and vacuum up. Like she's just like,
gotcha.
She leaves it on all day and just sucks them out. I'm like, I don't understand the way your brain works. Like you say that your mom's going nuts too. Like they're just, you hit a certain age, you just go nuts.
My mom was trying to tell me this fucking story today. I'm over there like painting her front door because she doesn't like the color red that it's painted, whatever. So I'm out there painting it. She's telling me the story how one neighbor in a wheelchair did a threesome with 2 other neighbors. I'm like, what the fuck is going on in this old community?
Where is she at the what's the place up in
She's at another one that's like the Villages, but like
the Villages.
Oh my God, I couldn't believe this is happening. I'm like, Ma, I'm sure this shit is going on all the time.
Dude, that like
she actually said that she read something recently, and we talked about it before, where she's like, I read something where these people in these communities like this, they're going and they're having sex and they're getting all these diseases. I'm like, yeah, they're getting STDs because they're just banging without any covers,
Yeah.
I
didn't expect to make it this long. I don't give a damn.
Old dude in a wheelchair still gimping around. He's like, hey girls, if you want to have a threesome.
I stormed the beaches at Normandy. Now I'm going to storm both your asses. Johnny Sin's grandfather right there, folks.
Boom.
Teaser for the future story.
Teaser.
Yeah, so it was quite a journey to get my beers. I will say, I think it was worth it. It was a fun trip, and I hope to get back there.
It was like the Warriors, it sounds like.
Get,
like, sandwiches. Get like weed.
It was a much more boring version of the Warriors. Yeah.
So I'm flipping through the channels the other night, and the Warriors are on. So I'm like,
great goddamn movie.
Right? And it's near the end, and I'm like, there's no sound. So the cable company had it in with no sound. I'm like, what the fuck,
Are they messing with me?
Are
you messing with me? I
I'm
love
like
this
flipping
movie.
channels to see if it's my TV. No, it's the goddamn channel.
The dialogue in the film is not exactly super well written. It's not.
I watched it as a silent movie for about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't watch this anymore.
The music is awesome, though. So that's the part you're missing out on. I love that soundtrack.
It was near the end where they were trying to make it back by the... Yeah, it was just weird.
The Lizzies. You girls are all right. Yeah, it's such a great movie. It's so awful and so great at the same time.
Yeah, I thought about you. I was like, Brian would love to see this. I'm like, I don't know if he could see it where he's at.
Oh, I have it on Blu-ray. Don't you worry about me.
Blu-ray too.
Blu-ray.
If they didn't show anything in like high def or close to high def.
Yes, they did. They were from the future. The guys who made the Warriors. Well, no, they take the film and they can like.
Did they Ted Turner colorize it? That was the best for a while. Like everything was coming out.
What the hell? It's like someone took like a bad watercolor course and like.
But then you look at it, you're like, why do we need to watercolor it? Why do we need to colorize it?
Just let it be, man.
Just let it be.
Yeah.
In black and white, just leave it.
Just let it be. All right, so that was a lot of chit chat in the app right today. but now we're skipping the gondola. We're letting it. It's not even that it's quarantining. We're just giving it a little break
right now, but we're making sure it's safe before people get in it.
Exactly. We are
test it out.
We are completely sanitizing it. We're wiping everything down, making sure no one gets sick. We're going to be at 50% capacity. Don't you worry. It's going to be a big gondola fall. I believe
we're following the rules.
We're following the rules. We believe in the law and order. So with that, we're going to roll into the ski news. And do you like snow? Do you want to go to Europe? Well, if you're a filthy American, you can't go to Europe. So don't even worry about it. But but you're not a filthy American, are you? You're a filthy Canadian. Snowfall in the Alps and Pyrenees. The snowfall is being greeted as the first of the season at ski areas in Andorra. Fucking gem. I want to go there.
I know. Everybody talks about Andorra.
Who's everybody? Me.
Everybody.
I talk about Andorra.
Word on the street is Andorra's a place to be.
Andorra. It's so tiny. And it takes 20 years to get citizenship. 20 years of living there to get citizenship.
Even Wikipedia says it's a tiny independent principality. It's tiny.
It just sounds awesome.
So goddamn tiny.
Yes. But there's snowfall in there, as well as the French and Spanish Pyrenees, and the heaviest so far in the Western Alps. However, some glaciers in Austria and Italy have already had several snowfalls up high this month. Accumulations totaled 5 to 20 centimeters. The heaviest falls above 3,000 meters. 5 to 20 centimeters. That's like 2 to 8 inches, something like that.
In the real world, what does that translate to?
Yeah, let's call it that. Many resorts have already closed high lifts and hiking and biking trails in advance of the weather front, which brought heavy rain to the lower elevations. Safé and Zermatt in Switzerland reported significant accumulations on their glaciers. Glacier 3000, currently closed to skiers, reported 40 centimeters of new, fresh snow.
Damn.
So 40 centimeters, that's like 18 inches maybe? Guessing? 16 inches? Something like that. Pretty nice amount. 4 glacier ski areas will be open for the start of September. In Austria, Hintertux, Italy, Passo, Stelvio, and Switzerland, Safé and Zermatt, with summer glacier skiing now over for most. Snow is falling in Europe, but unfortunately, as Americans, I think we're all sort of... Can we even travel there? Like, I thought we were like a red country, and they won't even let us in.
We can't even leave the fucking house. So, I don't know. We can't get on a plane. Like, I'm going to try to get on a plane as soon as I can. We're all happy down here in Florida because they're opening bars on Monday.
Oh, are they really?
Exactly. Like, fuck it. Let's go.
You know where you are? You in the jungle, baby.
You know, the numbers haven't jumped that much, staggeringly. Everybody's like, oh my God, the numbers are jumping. I'm like, yeah, well, we have kids going to school. We got shit going on. People are getting in contact with each other. So,
yeah.
You know what I love about this article, though, is the freaking little video of just sowing snowfall.
It's just so peaceful.
Chairs are on the tables outside, and they're just showing the snow. Beautiful. I could watch that for hours.
I know. I just feel very calm and relaxed watching the snowfall.
I'd really like to have like a wall TV in my room, and it just plays snow falling all the time. Would be amazing.
That's not a bad idea.
That'd be good, like relaxation, zen-like kind of thing. Maybe a little. All you hear, not music. I don't want to hear the fucking rainfall. I don't want to hear dolphins. I don't want to hear any of that shit.
I want to hear dolphins.
I just want to hear wind and snow. That's all I want.
What if there were snow dolphins?
Snow dolphins. Fuck those guys. I want to see just snow. I want to see Yetis and shit.
Snow
Every once
dolphins.
in a while, in the background, just a little.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we got Sneak Peek Future Retro. So this is
the new Warren Miller film.
The new for this year.
They just released a quick little sneak peek for us.
Damn, nice.
And it's not even like a trailer or a teaser. It's just a couple of photos of some of the folks who are in the upcoming film.
Yeah,
But
I was expecting a trailer. That's what I was taken aback.
We're not even getting that right now.
Wow. They're trying to tease the shit out of it. Well, they came out, they did the Warren Miller, which we talked about with the people that created
the documentary. Yep.
The movie about him. So they released that this year. So, that's big, but I'm sure this one's been in the making. So it's nice to tease it this way, I think.
Well, I just wonder, what is it going to be like? Are they going to even have the tour this year? Because that was always a big thing that would happen in, October, November, December, is that they would, you'd be going to your local, whatever you're living at, the local Warren Miller movie showing. And that was always like a big deal every fall. I mean, that was always one of my kind of favorite harbingers of the season. But
I saw the
now, I don't know.
Central Jersey Ski Club reached out to you, right? Are they still going to have that event, or they don't know, right?
I mean, right now, if you try to put in your zip code for, your local area, everything's coming back as no events in your area. And that's Colorado, that's Vermont, everywhere.
Yeah. Well, it looks like they have the teaser shows photos from Vermont, Switzerland, Alaska, Iceland. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Looks like they're got some good footage. But there's been some good snowfall, so they're not waiting on lift lines necessarily where they're skiing. So
yeah,
I'm thinking the show goes on for making the movie. How it's going to get distributed, we'll see. I mean, every movie's coming out to direct to video now, so I don't know if they're going to have to do that this year, if they're going to be able to have some kind of events. But
I hate that so much.
At least the technology's there that they can say, hey, it's limited, but we're going to release it on this thing. And you can just download it and watch it.
What about just get a big parking lot or drive-in theater or something? Play it there in your cars.
Yeah. I saw something on drive-in theaters, and I'm like, drive-in theaters could make a comeback because it's the perfect way to quarantine and still show movies.
Yeah, for sure.
All those disappeared. But they're great. You could bring your own stuff. You could hang out, sneak people in the trunk. That's how you work it.
That's just how you do it.
That's how you do it. But yeah, so we'll see. That looked pretty cool. Definitely check out the pictures on that.
Link in the show notes.
They have.
Yeah.
Check the show notes.
Next up, long live indie brands. Jason Leventhal sells 4Front skis to new owners.
Whoa.
So this is kind of a crazy thing a couple years ago. And back in 2017, Jay Leventhal acquired 4Front skis from its founder, Matt Sturbens, and helped maximize its status in the freeride community by implementing a direct-to-consumer business model, selling skis solely through 4Front.com. I think this is Jay saying this. Over the last 3 years, I turned 4Front into a digitally driven brand. I didn't change the soul of the brand. It was really just about modernizing it to get up to speed with today's direct-to-consumer e-commerce business model and become financially stable. I didn't sell it because the COVID hit or because 4Front was going bankrupt. I sold it because it is worth something now. It's ready for the new owners to take that to the next level. I mean, it was a big deal when he kind of bought that a bunch of years ago. And, his J-Skis company has been really blowing up the last, 2 years. So, yeah. I mean, I think this is awesome for Jay and for 4Front, the new guys who bought it, Charlie Johnson, Ebby Lang, and Will Armenta.
But it seems like it's moving it ahead still, which is good, right? It's not just passing to another owner. It's like, it seems like you said, Leventhal modified it, got it to a certain place, and now he's passing it along for good, for the benefit of the brand, rather than I'm just letting it go for money, right?
Well, yeah, it's not like he's selling it to K2 or something where they're just gonna throw it in their bag of companies they own and just let them just kind of flounder. This is sold to a group of fellas who they've worked for a couple different ski companies and are passionate about the brand to start with. So this is, I mean, if you're a 4Front rider, this sounds like a pretty awesome move, having these guys be the new owners of it.
And if, they're looking for a podcast or people to work for the company, they're out of Burlington. So that kind of works.
See, right? We can make that work.
Just saying.
If you want to send us a couple pairs of skis too to try out, we are happy to do some consumer testing. We are available for that. skibumpodcast@gmail.com.
If you have media day somewhere, let us know. We'd love to hear about it. Show up, try some skis.
We are the people's podcast. Let's be honest.
Exactly.
There's plenty of other ski podcasts out there, but most of them are not interesting to everybody.
That's right.
We are your pals in the car driving to the mountain with you. That's what this podcast is all about. And that's why you love it. And that's why we love you. Virtual hugs. Virtual
love fest.
Aw.
I'm tearing up. All right, next up we have a ski legend paints Mad River Glen a new trail map. So James Niehaus.
The one and only James Niehaus.
Niehaus. I know
I call him Niehaus. You call him Niehaus. He's Niehaus to me.
He's Niehaus. I know he came out with the book this year, but he actually this year painted a new map for Mad River Glen, which is great. So Mad River prizes itself on being uncrowded, natural skiing, above faster limits, short lines, and it's a skier-owned co-op in the U.S. So
it's so awesome.
They remain fiercely independent, and they got James. I don't know if they must have approached him to hand paint a new map for them. And if anybody doesn't know who he is, who James Niehaus is, he has a book out that started on Kickstarter, I think it was, and now it's everywhere. But he is the man. If you've ever looked at a ski map, chances are, like, what is it like? It's a staggering amount, like 80 or 90% of them have been done by him, and he's done some really great work. So, I think it's really cool. So, painted them a new map, and they're ready to go.
Well, now this whole Kickstarter is they were trying to raise $7,500 for him to paint the map, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Wasn't that the whole thing?
Yeah, the coffee table book, 292-page hardcover coffee table book. And I think
that was the book, but I'm talking about the Mad River Glen thing.
Oh, and they were trying to raise that so that he could paint it for him.
Yeah. So they were trying to get $7,500, and they are currently at $88,000 with 21 days to go.
Damn.
That is so awesome.
So does that mean James is going to keep that extra money?
I have no idea where that money's going. I think maybe like Mad River Glen's going to keep it.
Yeah. But if you do back this, and this is why it got so much on Kickstarter, is if you back it, you get a choice of several art prints of his work. So he has some really cool stuff. And, especially if it's one of your beloved ski areas, whether you went there and it was special to you or you go there on a regular basis, it's kind of cool to have some of these.
Oh, it's really cool. And Mad River Glen is also super cool because it is a co-op, and you can actually buy a share of the mountain for $2,000.
Damn. What does that get you?
What does it get you? Let me tell you what it gets you. It gets you annual advance purchase requirement of $200. So you got to spend $200 there automatically every year.
Do I get free taco and sip of sunshine?
I am trying to figure out what you get.
Because that would be great. If you get Mad Taco and Sip of Sunshine, I mean, I could start a Kickstarter and probably sell out in like a week.
Well, you are right next to it. So there's perhaps something involved. Sip of Sunshine related.
SOS.
But again,
SOS signal.
What is awesome though, so say you don't have $2,000 sitting around. You're like, Jesus Christ, Brian, would you just fucking buy shares of ski resorts whenever you want to?
Shit, yeah.
No, don't you worry. You can make 40 monthly installments of $50 with a $150 down payment.
That's a bargain.
That's kind of awesome. You're like, I own a ski mountain now.
Yeah,
$50 a month. So the only other cost is the $200 advanced annual purchase requirement. But that can be applied to every product and service on the mountain, including season passes, tickets, ski school, and food. The advanced purchase requirement does not represent an additional expense for most shareholders. Because again, you're going to go up there and ski, obviously, if you're already dropping $2,000 to own a piece of this.
Yeah, might as well buy 10 shares.
Why stop at 10?
You know, I got the application up right now.
Right? What's your credit card limit? How many shares can I buy?
It's going to pay for itself.
I want all the shares.
I want as many as you can give me.
And you start a coup and you like take over the whole executive committee.
Blue Horseshoe goes long on Mad River Glen.
Right? They got the new trail map coming up.
Boom. It's a bargain.
It's not a bad idea.
Total cost is $21.50. So
I once accidentally gave a taxi driver $100. Like I thought it was a single. So my cab ride was 17, 18. I was
damn it. He was like, thanks, man. I'm out.
It was like the good old days when like you're so stupid and you just buy a bottle of Jim Beam and drink the whole thing before you go out. Like one of those kind of nights.
Yeah.
I thought I was giving, and that was like back in the day when like $100 was like blood money. So I thought I was giving him a 20 and a single because there was like a $17 cab ride, whatever. I gave him a 20 and a 100. And of course,
$20. He was like, thanks, man. You're the best fare I ever had.
Yes. And what did I get from that? Just a story. Damn. That's pretty much it. I could have taken that money and used that for a down payment to own a piece of Mad River Glen.
Shit, yeah. No,
I did not. I just made a taxi driver. I gave him a wonderful night and a wonderful story. Actually, I'm sure he forgot me pretty quickly.
I think we could own part of Mad River Glen. Let's see.
Why not?
All right, that's on the back burner. I'm writing that down too. That's a note.
Jot it down.
Mad River Takeover.
Mad Taco, Mad River Glen. Take over Mad Taco next.
Mad River Taco.
How about we get a Mad Taco in Mad River Glen?
That's right. We're going to call it Mad River Taco.
Mad River Taco.
Right on the mountain.
I know we're all starting to think about skiing, but I'm asking you this question because I know the answer I'm going to give. Have you been practicing with your beacon this off season?
I'm pretty sure, but
of course you haven't. Nobody has.
I thought about getting an extra beacon and trying to do the practice with it on the beach.
See, that's not a bad idea. The good folks at Backcountry Access, they put out a blog post with 4 ways to practice with your transceiver during the off season.
Nice.
Because let's be honest, you're out in the backcountry, you're in avalanche conditions, you have a beacon. If you don't know how to use it, it's the equivalent of not even having it.
Pretty much.
You know? So here's a couple scenarios they're playing out there for you if you want to try this. Avalanche transceiver in tall grass. For this scenario, you'll need to find some tall grass, perhaps a long hillside that simulates an avalanche path. Use flags or another marker to mark the boundaries of the path. Then have a friend hide a beacon in the grass. There you go. Next, avalanche transceiver. This is for both of us, Mario, in the sand.
Yeah.
The beach is ideal. But if you don't live next to a sandy beach or a beach volleyball court, if you don't live by the beach, a beach volleyball court works great.
Can you imagine like digging it into a beach volleyball court and then while they're playing, you're like, dude, I'm finding my transceiver out of the way. Just start digging.
He said this scenario is especially cool because you can actually bury the transceiver. And this will allow you to conduct a full companion rescue and shovel and probe if you want.
Probing. Probing is fun.
I'm all about probing at the beach, right? Now here's a tip. Put the transceiver in a plastic bag. Sand and electronics don't like each other. Keep in mind, if you decide to probe, a transceiver can be fragile and can also be difficult to bury deeply in sand. Therefore, it's best to bury the transceiver with something thin like a paint bucket lid or piece of plywood over it so you don't skewer it with your probe. All right.
All right. Giggity, giggity.
Yeah. This is a nice one. I like this one. Avalanche transceiver in a foam football.
I've heard of deflate gate. Now we got transceiver gate.
You cut your foam football in half, you jam your transceiver in there, you wrap it up with duct tape, and then you chuck that thing as far as you can and find it.
Chuck it a country mile and then find it. It's awesome.
Yep. And then transceiver hidden under a flower pot. So for this scenario, you'll need 10 small plastic flower pots. This is a great drill to do in your lawn or driveway. Use flags or another marker to mark the boundaries of your scenario. Place the flower pots upside down and then spread them out randomly through the search area. Then have a friend place a transceiver under one of the flower pots. Paper lunch bags also work great for the scenario, but make sure you weigh the empty ones down with rocks or sand.
Nice. I actually I just thought of a great one to share with them. I may have to write him back. How about a transceiver scavenger hunt? Get a bunch of people with transceivers, give them a vague location of where the next clue is. Boom. Got to find it. Just saying.
It's an option. It sounds like a Dan Blazarian transceiver hunt.
That's right. The Dan Blazarian transceiver.
You girls want to earn $200 the hard way?
Oh, yeah. Giggity, giggity. All right. Just one quick announcement I have is Whistler Blackcomb announced opening day is November 26th, 2020.
Coming up soon.
So they're coming out with dates. I think that's one of the big signs of why this caught my attention is that they came out with a date. So
it's giving us hope.
Yeah. Keep that hope alive. It's going to happen.
Dark time and a lot of negativity, any sort of positivity, any sort of hope, we're just grabbing onto.
And that's like Thanksgiving weekend. So we're good to go.
Yeah. So they've given us a date already, and that's going to help us roll into the main topic. And we're just really going to talk about what is skiing going to be like. You know, there's been so many places are starting to formulate a plan, but a lot of it seems like taking what Vail did, which we talked about, I think was it last week or possibly the week before? I think it was last week.
Yeah.
And tweaking the knobs and dials a bit to make it work for them, because their whole thing was, you know, pass holders first, you have to make reservations online before. When you're cutting capacity, that seems to be the only possible way to do it at this point. And, you know, again, there's been a bunch of articles that came out. We talked about Vail. Ski Vermont, they just had they have on their site links to all the different resorts there and what they're going to be doing. I don't know, Killington came out with a video this week where they were talking about kind of their plan. You know, obviously they said weekends they're going to have to cut capacity. It's not going to be a matter of just on a whim going up and going skiing or waiting for a powder day and going up. It's going to have to be very planned, very organized, know when you're going. I think they were saying lift capacity was going to be 50%, which, hey man, we've all been to those areas, big areas on a Saturday or a holiday weekend. And I remember one time in Mount Snow being in line for like an hour. Yes. Again, is capacity going to be cut in half? Then, you know, if you were waiting for a half an hour, it'll be an hour now. Well, actually, if it's cut in half, then it'll be the same time. If you're cutting capacity in half because you're going to have to put lift capacity in half, then it'll be the same thing. And, you know, they tried putting the positive twist on it where they were like, well, you know, we're going to have unfortunately for them, the least amount of skiers and snowboarders on the snow. So it could be the best conditions we're ever going to have if you can make it out there.
Right.
But that sort of seems to be the underlying theme, is that you're going to have to plan ahead. You're going to have to get, you know, if you're a pass holder, you're going to have first dibs at it. And if you can go midweek, but I mean,
I think it's all going to be natural selection. Everything's going to work out. If things are busy and they're going to, they oversell passes, people are going to go elsewhere. So I think it's all going to work out. But if you're planning a trip, what I've noticed, because I'm looking at trips, I got to travel everywhere. I'm still planning. And I think that you, even more than ever, you have to look at your trip planning now. What are your dates? What do you plan to do? And then also have an alternate plan. So if something happens where things get closed up, I'm planning to go out of the country again, go skiing. If things don't happen, I have a fully refundable, deposit down on a trip. So that's part of the plan. If you get there and there's something going on with, it's just like if you were skiing in the springtime or early season, you'd always have to have a backup plan of what if the skiing isn't good, right? What if the weather doesn't cooperate? So I think more than ever this season, everybody's going to have that as like your main plan and your backup plan, and just know that things could change as time goes on, right? Between now and another 3 months, things could be locked on. So have your plan, have a backup plan, and be happy and be flexible, because you know what? As long as you enjoy the trip, whether you ski, you don't ski, as long as it's a good time, that's what matters, right?
Yeah, for sure. And, the folks at All Mountain Mamas, they had an article that came out this week, and they had, it's titled, "How Will My Family Ski This Winter?" And they brought some good points too. One of the things that, at least I've been seeing, is that this virus does not really transmit outdoors. It's more of an indoor transmission. So, we're outside in the sport. That's a big positive. We're already wearing masks, eye protection, and have things strapped to our feet that keep us distanced. So, that's half the battle right there.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is like, when you plan on going someplace, like now you got to look at, do I stay in a hotel where potentially even hotels change, because I stayed at a hotel, I think 4 weeks ago. And what they do now is they don't come in and automatically make up the room. It's on request. So if you're there for a whole week, they're not going to come and clean the room. So just keep that in mind. But the idea is less contact is going to be less contact for possibly spreading COVID or anything else. Another option is doing like renting a condo or a timeshare or a, Airbnb or something like that for a week. And then you're assured when you clean it, it stays clean. It's you and your family or your group that's in that one area. So, I mean, logistics, you just got to think about a little bit more logistics as this goes on. Maybe pack a sandwich for lunch instead of planning to go to the lodge.
Well, that's a big thing is, the lodges, they said they're going to have their capacity drastically reduced.
That's going to be a big deal for people that are relying on it,
Well, it's going to be a big thing for people who say they go skiing, but really just hang out in the lodge the whole time.
Yeah.
Like you're going to, like those people, and those are the people who too, they may be lost as customers this season.
Yeah.
Those people, they're not going to spend their $100 a day lift tickets just to hang out.
Or they might be the only ones there. And now we're skiing for you and me.
Well, I'm actually really excited to see how places are going to maximize outdoor space. We talked about it the last couple of weeks. Like if they just start like investing in a couple of heat lamps and maybe some.
Well, the tents, they all do the tents, the temporary tents. You chuck them up.
Temporary tents, yeah. Like you could actually do some pretty cool stuff and keep people separate. Keep a distance, but also. And, have some sort of like window lines for food instead of have people go in there and sit down, just have things.
Get a waffle. You could actually get a sandwich at the little walk-up huts on the mountain.
Yeah. Waffle cabin is going to make a fortune this year.
That's right. But outdoor seating areas, why, if it's not snowing and not super cold, why wouldn't you have outdoor seating. Like we've been places where it's kind of nice in the sun, out west. Pretty nice actually some of the days that we've skied. So
yeah, well, they're gonna have to find a way to replicate a nice sunny day in New England when it's overcast and brutally cold and frigid and no sun.
Yurt Village, my man. Yurt Village.
Dude, I think there's going to be a lot of
future.
That's true. Everything's coming up yurt.
We should start a yurt company and start right now.
That's not a bad idea. We've talked about this for the last couple months. Write down the yurt company.
What am I writing? Yurt X.
Yurt X.
Again.
Yeah.
That's like 5 times in a row. I'm writing it every week.
People are going to find some pretty cool, innovative ways too. I think, Killington had their video come out this week about how they plan on handling this. And their whole big thing is, there's not going to be an après scene this year. They're focusing on skiing and riding. They're trying to make sure they have top to bottom skiing before everything opens. So they've actually formalized a plan for opening. So they're going to open a little bit later versus like the October that they always would gun for, probably more like mid-November. They want to be top to bottom. Okay, great. But, the whole like no après thing, I think people are going to find some awesome, innovative ways, whether it's parking lots, pop-ups, like there's going to be something, and it's going to be
in a condo with friends. You're going to go back to the condo, back to the house, have a little après. Hey, neighbors are out, après. Like there's going to be stuff going on. But again, logistically, you got to plan on some of this to change, right? Because there's not going to be a bar open that you can just go in potentially and just hang out. Like you may have to get a little more creative with that,
Dude, I think Camelback, they should partner with Instapot and have some sort of like Camelback slow cooker. You can keep it in your backpack and you have like a whole like pot of chili ready to go in your backpack.
Oh, and yet you can have the cold side. You could be like the McDLT, cold side cold and hot side hot.
You got to have one friend who's the hot guy and then the one guy who's the cool guy.
No, that's where you put it in there. Well, so there's going to be 2 things that happen. People are going to do that in their cars or trucks and let it sit. And then the firemen are going to have to come every once in a while and put out the car that's on fire.
This is a possibility.
And the best part of après ski is watching the firemen come around and put out the car fires.
And you know what? Everyone loves when the firefighters come, so they'll have beers ready for them when they're done.
Boom. Perfect.
Right? So actually, if you're looking for a winter gig, being a firefighter in a ski town could be a big one this year.
All the Instapots. We're calling the Instapots go. Then again, Instapot sales might go up.
I think so. Air fryers, Instapots.
Air fryers. You do chicken while you're skiing?
Dude, I just got it. I ordered an air fryer, and it's coming soon. I can't wait.
They're actually pretty good. My mom has
sweet potato fries. That's what I'm all about.
They're good. I don't have one because I would try to make too much fried stuff, and it's really not great for me. So figured my doctor said, hey, you should cut out the fried stuff. And I'm like, well, what if it's air fried? They're like, it's carbs, dude. Like,
how about I get a new doctor? That's like a much better solution.
I get a new doctor that doesn't give a fuck. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, it is going to be a bummer that, there's going to be certain days where you wish you could just, be like, oh, we got a powder day. I'm going to go head over and buy a ticket. That's not going to be available, which sucks. But I'm hoping that this is temporary, that this is going to evolve too. Things may change as we get a little further into the season. It might not just be, we're setting this in stone and nothing is going to, we're not going to veer from this plan. These places need to make money. That's why they're here. They're not here because they love us, that they care about our wonderful experience. They just want to make money off of this. So if they're not making it, they're going to find a way to tweak it and to make money off of it. And, I think I only skied like 2 or 3 days on the weekend last year. So I've tried to like alter my skiing to be more midweek also. So, that's maybe a little more crowded midweek, but I think it's going to be okay. I think we're going to figure this out.
I think it's going to be great and fun and new, and we're all going to experience this. And there's going to be so many innovations that come out of this, as have happened with working from home, doing school from home. Like, every school district rolled out the technology to do school from home, but they never did anything about it until we had the pandemic, right? So now we have the ability, if they need to do it remote, they can do it remote. Work remote, boom, that's in there. different changes to the way we do things to keep, you got to remember too, COVID's just one thing, but all the stuff they're going to put in place is going to help eliminate you getting the flu or getting some other like just stupid like cold that you don't want to get. So it's all eventually going to be for the betterment of everybody. But I think there's going to be a lot of innovations that come out of this, whether it's how we party or where we party or the way things are set up. I think it's going to be.
We're still going to party. You can't stop the party.
You can't stop the party. I mean, people are still going to want to have fun. So I think we're going to find other ways to have it. Maybe it'll be a different experience. And you know what? We might as well enjoy it. Because if you look at last year versus this year, right, they're going to be totally different. But if we get a vaccine and things calm down with COVID, we might be back to being able to have what we had last year. But I think in the interim, we're going to find stuff that we like just as much too. So it might be kind of cool. I think,
I think that the smaller independent resorts are going to benefit tremendously from all this because, a lot of those big places, like you said, have a backup plan. And I think a lot of people's backup plan is going to be, oh, I can't go to, the big resort. I can't go to Jackson Hole. I'll go to Snow King.
Yeah.
Like people are going to really rediscover the smaller independent resorts. And I think they are going to really flourish in this crazy environment. And, my big hope is that next year we're going to kind of look back and laugh at how this all went down and how we responded and reacted, and that we got through it and we were better for it, kind of like you said. So maybe we'll look back at this and be like, oh, remember that one crazy winter, how, we had to do all this goofy ass shit and we couldn't ski when we wanted to. And,
Well, I think it also may bring back, like you said, some of the independent and some of the smaller mountains. But more importantly, I think it may revive the magic and the beauty that we see in the ski towns themselves, right? Because the big resorts get bigger and they have all these amenities for us to not have to leave the resort. Now, if they have to limit it, now the actual town around a resort actually flourishes, right? Because now they can have that extra capacity, even though they might be at lower capacity, they can handle the people that can't be on the mountain hanging out for après. Maybe you go off mountain to après. Maybe you go into a little village to walk around. Like, I don't think it's going to be totally that bad. I think it might lead to a better ski experience overall in the long run. I think we just have to be open-minded about it. I'm kind of excited because it's going to be different than if you ski at big resorts all the time or the same resort all the time. You're going to just see something different this year. It's going to be, I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be innovative. Everybody's going to try to use their brains. We got some very talented people, very smart people in this world. And I think we're going to find a way to do the things we want to do, just maybe in a different way. And I think it might be cool.
Yeah. I was terrified for a while about how things were going to go, but I'm really starting to get excited about, like you said, the innovation, the creativity, and what's going to come from this. Because again, we're
online and reservations. We were talking about that before. Why don't they limit the number of tickets at some of these resorts? Right? They're going to do that now because they have to. But I could be around after, right?
Yeah. I talked about it, I think last week that, I got the Indy Pass and I'm super excited for that because there's a bunch of ski areas in, near me that I plan to check out for the first time. There's the ones, obviously, like I've talked about Magic a million times because I love that place and they're on that Indy Pass. But there's other spots in New Hampshire, even in Massachusetts, Connecticut. Again, it may not be 4,000 feet of vertical, but at this year, I'm really trying to take a step back and I think a lot of us are going to see this where we really look at what we took for granted and look at what we love about skiing and try to get back to that, the kind of pure, just the shushing, just getting out there and making those turns no matter where it is. If you're at a place with 200 feet of vertical or 5,000, it's still making turns in snow and that's what we all love doing. So not again,
we're gonna have great experiences anywhere we go. And going to these other areas might make it where 10 years from now, we might be saying, remember that great time we had at Cannon? You know what I mean? We've never been there, right?
Yeah. I think this is going to be the year to find new places, find smaller places, support them, because you know what? Without them, we're not going to have the Killingtons, the Jackson Holes, the Whistlers. They're not going to be there if people aren't getting out there, learning and having those great local experiences before they, make their way onto those big mountains.
And the local places, even around a big resort, the local areas are going to, I think, pull everything up and make it better for everybody too. That's where they're going to rely on.
Yeah. I think it's going to be different. It's definitely going to be different, but I think there's going to be a lot of positive things that happen.
Way, right?
What's that?
Different in a good way though, right?
60-40, good and bad. Yeah, I think we're going to find a lot of positives. We're going to have some negatives. It might be a rough start, but I think we're going to have a great ski season. So we're going to have the links in the show notes to all these different stories. And if you guys are hearing anything different or anything we may have missed, please hit us up, let us know, and we'll talk about it. skibumppodcast@gmail.com. All right, ready to roll in?
Ready to roll in.
All right. Time to go under the ropes. We have one story, and this one, Mario, this is close to your heart.
It's a doozy. So, Ole Miss, which is where Eli Manning played, and a few other famous football players played, they accidentally put a porn star on cups honoring healthcare workers. So, it was a good intention, right? They decided to come out with these, cups to honor healthcare workers, especially with the COVID, everything going on. And they were cups that were going to be handed out at games and support the team and honoring healthcare workers. And what they didn't know until, I guess, after they were all printed up, was that it was revealed that while they were trying to honor the healthcare workers, they featured a picture of a porn star, Johnny Sins, on the cup. So
granted, he is dressed like a doctor.
He is dressed like a doctor, so I could understand the mix-up. But then I guess I'm thinking the ladies, maybe whoever identified him as like, oh no, that's a porn star you got on there. So his name is Johnny Sins. He's been in a lot of porn. Oh
my God.
You kind of don't want to look it up. Just look up the Wikipedia. And
well, it's pretty impressive that someone spotted this, because they have their Ole Miss heroes, and it's got a bunch of it's a collage of a lot of different people.
You see Eli Manning and Johnny Sins, like, what the fuck is going on?
What do we got? What is in this cup?
What is in this cup? That's a special drink.
It's a special something. Johnny Sins.
Is it a roofie drink? Is it a horny drink? Like, what is it? Like, what are they putting in the cup?
But yeah, you look at they probably went on a Google image search and just grabbed like the first 100 images.
Stock photo of a doctor. Boom.
Just stock photo of a doctor, not knowing.
Stock photo of a porn doctor. Oh, sorry, I meant doctor.
American pornographic actor.
Well, you know what happens when you look up porn for 12 hours and then you look up doctor? A lot of times, Google will say, oh, you want a porn doctor? And then it shows you that image. So that could have happened. I don't know.
Yeah, the Twitter comments are pretty funny about this.
So he's professionally known, and this is where we were talking about Robin Leach earlier, is he used to say things so regally, and he made things sound so proper and official. So the way they write this Wikipedia is Johnny Sins is an American pornographic actor, director, and YouTuber. So they didn't use porn. They said pornographic actor, which I like. It makes it sound more official.
Because not everybody can be a star. All right. This whole everyone, because they say porn stars, not everyone's a star. Some people are just actors.
He's an actor.
You
do this with that. That's it. He won Male Performer of the Year a few times.
See?
But he's been nominated for such videos as 2008, his first one, Fuck Club.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's pretty wild.
I mean, that's pretty much a genre creating event, right? That was.
So that's a title. Like, if you're looking on Amazon to see if they carry that movie, like, do they have it or do they censor that? Like, it's just weird. But no, he's been in, what they say? I was looking at this. They said he's described as a go-to guy for the studio, having performed in 1,054 scenes as of April 2019. And they said over his pornographic career, about 2,300 videos he's performed in. That's
1,054.
Holy crap.
That's impressive. Now, again, I'm looking at the Twitter comments on this particular post, and this person made a fantastic point. It says, I'm so confused. Ole Miss has a medical school. Why would they not choose one of their own distinguished alumni to feature? Like, why wouldn't they have like their own alumni on this cup?
Did he go there? I don't know where he went. He might not have graduated there. He might have just gone there. Might just have pounded some vodka. I don't know. Does he visit there often?
Oh my God.
Does somebody in the college like him that much? That's pretty awesome, though.
Yeah.
So they actually were trying to do a crowd. So in 2015, Pornhub launched a crowdfunding campaign through Indiegogo to produce the first adult film in space. So Sins and Eva Lovia were slated to perform in the film, and if it were successfully funded, they would receive 6 months rigorous preparation for launch, including zero gravity, velocity, and temperature training. So Sin said about the opportunity, it's beyond just doing it for the money, or the money shot for that matter. It's making history. That's a quote you can't make that up.
Instead of like Apollo 13, it's like Apollo 69.
Of course, it's got to be all like, poured out. So the campaign raised, here's pretty messed up. Campaign raised $236,000 over 60 days, but failed to reach its goal of $3.4 million. But still,
wait a minute. So they were trying to raise $3.5 million to send these dipshits to space to bang.
Yes.
All in the name of science. If
us were involved, he would have been like, I could do it. I could fly my own rocket and meet you up there.
His alter ego, Elon Schlong, would have definitely paid for that.
Elon Schlong.
Schlong Musk.
Schlong Musk. Oh, his whole film credit is just incredible.
It's just packed with, real, the ones that we all know and love.
Here's a shocker. He currently resides in Las Vegas, and he's separated from his once married pornographic actor, Kiss of Sins. They separated in 2019, but remain close friends.
Oh, that's nice.
So if that's a shocker, just saying. Yeah.
Why don't they have reality shows about porn actresses? Like what I remember there was that one show, Gigolos, which was
Gigolos. Yes.
Oh, that show was horribly painful.
Of it. That was pretty whacked out. Oh, they were real gigolos, right?
They were real gigolos. And hey, there were times that these guys really earned their salary.
They're like
good Lord. It's like, I've been married for 37 years and he left me and now I want to show him that. And yeah, these, these aren't exactly women in the prime of their life that these gentlemen have to service.
Mm.
You gotta get the job done, son. You want to pay for that Mercedes? You gotta earn it. You gotta earn it. But imagine what is their life like? That whatever his lovely bride, whatever her name was, what was their life like every day? Is it like a regular when you wake up a 9-to-5 job, you wake up, you're just like, oh God damn it, work. Is he like, oh God damn it.
So I need some time off.
Style. Yeah.
Stress killing me.
Chafed. I don't know what sort of diseases I have, but like things
directors are getting on me. Well, I guess, if you're in that industry, right, they get tested and they work with a lot of the same people in the same film studio, right? Bless you. So
now
I would imagine they're banging like a bunch of people in the same like little group. So I don't know. It's weird.
Like a porn pod.
It's a porn pod. I think they all have little porn pods. That's why, like, depending on who they're with means who they're like kind of partnered up with. But I guess it's one of those things like, got to pay the bills, honey. Got to go do what I got to do. You know,
it's just like any other job, right? You got to get groceries, you got to get gas, you got to pay the bills.
As hard as I work, some days I feel like I just blew a few people. It's horrible.
We've all had those days, right?
Days you want to come back, take a drink, and be like, I don't want to remember it. Just want to go away.
Just want to look in the mirror and cry and take like a long shower, just sit in the corner. Shower,
hold yourself, and just rock back and forth.
The crying game.
God damn it.
You know, we've all been there, right? Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do to pay those bills.
You got to pay the bills, man.
Yeah.
So,
well, yes. Apparently, it's a very
part of Ole Miss history.
This is apparently a very hot collector's item right now.
Oh, so is it selling?
Oh, it's selling. Let's see if we go to type in Ole Miss Cup on eBay. Well, these are not very exciting. These are all just a picture of some old-looking, racist-looking guy with a hat and a cane.
God damn, is that one of the guys from like Dukes of Hazzard or something?
Dude, it's amazing the shit people buy on eBay.
Oh, that Ole Miss Koozie Cup? It's like Colonel Sanders with a hat.
That's like their logo, yeah.
Ridiculous. They change the Washington Redskins, but they don't change that. Like,
I'm sure it's on the way. I'm sure.
Looking guy, what the hell?
I'm sure it's gonna happen soon.
Oh, the Rebels. That's right. The Rebels.
Isn't that what Vegas was too?
Right?
That?
The Rebels were from the South, right? That's what they consider.
So obviously it's going to have to get canceled. Cancel the whole university now.
Right. Close it up.
They're not only racist, they're also stupid.
Well, I don't know what you're teaching down there, but just saying.
You're racist and stupid.
Racist. And they love porn. Racist pornophiles.
I really wonder if the person who came up with that put that picture in there, they had to have known.
Oh, that's like gold though.
Yeah.
That's like from a neighboring college that and they're like, yeah, fuck that. Let's put this guy in there.
It seems like a Van Wilder sketch. I
wonder if they have a Yeti version of it.
What's that?
They have a Yeti Old Miss cup. I wonder if it has this picture on it.
Engraved.
Can you imagine? You get it like engraved and send it out to all the boosters.
Oh my God. Well, they're saying they haven't actually. So this is another article. This is from Barstool. They haven't actually released it yet because.
Oh, that's a play on words there too.
It's not. Hey, whoa.
Gonna have a big release.
Oh, indeed.
All over the place at one time.
All over Florida in 2 weeks. That's from their first home game.
They're gonna release it on Florida.
The Cox really unleashed on the Gators last week, folks.
They're gonna release it for the Gamecocks.
The Rebels are gonna unleash on the Gators.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So they're saying they're probably gonna have this pulled before the game occurs. But they're gonna pull out with this apparently.
Before
they're not gonna finish.
They're not gonna release. They're gonna pull out.
Exactly.
And they're gonna have to take it back to back to campus, deal with it there, release it on campus. God damn, that's awesome.
Oh my God. Yep.
You know, that guy has to get like Johnny Sins has to get he's got to get his own like day there, like Ole Miss Day. They got to honor him.
That like they're looking for a new logo. You can use him as inspiration.
It's just him shooting a cannon or some shit like that. I think Ole Miss is the one where they have the little cannons they shoot off.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they're fucking racist. Racist as hell.
They're like a filthy racist there in Ole Miss.
Shit, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm sure there's some non-racist people there, but that logo's fucked up.
Yeah. You just picture him saying "boy" a lot.
Yeah, like it's a cross between Colonel Sanders, Mr. Smithers, and like
Foghorn Leghorn.
Yeah, like what the hell?
Yeah.
I don't know. I went to App State, so they have the old mountain man. He looks a little suspect too.
There's definitely some rape in his past.
Then again, he looks like every lifty out there with a big ass beard.
Nice.
The big bearded dude with a pipe. He's got a pipe.
Nice. All right. Well, Old Miss, good luck to you. You crazy bastards.
Crazy bastards. Crazy porn-loving bastards. Good luck.
Yeah, and that wraps up the podcast for the week. Thank you so much for listening. We do appreciate it. Check us out, skibumpodcast.com. Those new shirts, they are available.
You get a shirt?
skibumpodcast.com/shop. That's
get a shirt for the yurt.
Stunning. Get it. So you're waiting in line. You get your cool shirt on. You got a conversation starter. You'll love it.
That's right.
Visit us on the socials, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We're at Ski Bum Podcast. Our favorite social media app, Untapped, Ski Bum Podcast, and Ski Bum Podcast Brian. Send us an email, skibumpodcast@gmail.com. We're also on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify. Please go on, rate us, and leave a comment and subscribe. That would be very helpful. Thank you again, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Stay hot, stay polluting.
See ya.